Hey everybody, it's Tamara Henry with Real TV Films. We're here at the Tribeca Film Festival catching up with John Walter. You are the director of the documentary and also the editor, is that right?
That's right, I do my own editing.
That's awesome.
Saves money.
So tell us a little bit about the film.
Well, I heard that Meryl Streep was going to be playing Mother Courage in Central Park and that Tony Kushner was doing a new translation. And I had the idea that it would be fascinating if I could shoot the rehearsals and sort of tell at the same time the story of these amazing artists putting on a show.
Went to this village outside of Prague. I think it was called Mielnich. Just that flat Czechoslovakian landscape. And then there's this little kind of outcropping where, of course, you have to have your city because you can see over the plain. And on top there was a church, and in the bottom of the church was a crypt. And just bones and skulls piled up like the Cambodian thing we've seen. And a really scary guy, the caretaker down there. He said, oh yes, around here many battles. And after each battle, we go out. We, his, I guess, predecessors, probably a family business. They go out and they get the skulls and they load them into the bottom of the church. This plain has seen so many wars fought over an interpretation of the Bible.
And through watching the rehearsals, learn the play along with the actors and sort of step into the fiction along with them. So you get these incredible scenes where all of a sudden it's no longer Meryl Streep, it's Mother Courage, and she's crying real tears over the body of her child, and it's heartbreaking, and then, you know, it's lunch.
But mine shall have gained the sweetest and choicest the baker can bake. One kid lies in Poland, the other, well, who knows?
So you had the vision ahead of time that, hey, you were going to get the behind the scenes, right?
That was sort of the idea, and so when we asked Meryl Streep if she would be up for that, she said yes.
Here's the, you want to know why I wanted to do this play? It was not because of the scene where Katrina's brave and brings down the thing and alerts the villagers, because, you know, in my perverse reading of the play, I suddenly thought, you know what? An act of bravery is a thing that continues the carnage. She's going to wake them up. They're going to fight. The war's going to go on. You know, it's like, ah! The thing that I wanted to make it was because of the lullaby, was this scene that we see over and over and over and over on television, Lebanon, everywhere. Srebrenica, women just going, why? Over the body of their children. Why? That's what it was. It's the whole thing for me.
So I was going to ask you about a theater, but it's a particular theater company, and they decided to do it in Central Park. What was the weather like? Was it beautiful? Was it summertime?
It was, global warming and all that. It was like a heat wave. It was very, very hot. Yes, it was very uncomfortably hot, and it was brutal for the actors because when Meryl Streep's doing a movie, she doesn't have to stand there for 2 hours while they get the lighting right, and because it was an outdoor theater, they could only light it at night. You had to wait for the sun to set so you get the darkness and the lighting looks right, and so it was just an exhausting, grueling kind of ordeal for them, which seemed to add to this just the atmosphere that they were trying to create, which is the atmosphere of the 30 Years' War.
And with Courage, it's exactly the same. It's her incredible force of will, her absolute refusal to be defeated, which is absolutely admirable on the one hand, but I think in watching the play, you completely see that it's what kills her children. The reason that he has that notion of the fatal virtue is that he doesn't blame the characters. It's not Courage's fault. His suggestion is it's not the characters that have to change, it's the society they're in. That's the thing we have to look at to change. We have to change the context in which these people make their decisions.
So I heard you talking about Brecht, so explain to everyone at Real TV Films who Brecht is.
Bertolt Brecht was sort of the hot young playwright of Weimar Germany in the 20s, and he wrote the Threepenny Opera along with Kurt Weill. So everybody probably knows Mac the Knife and the McDonald's commercial, Mac Tonight, and so that's how that has seeped into the culture. And he had to flee the country when the Nazis took over, and he left the country with his family, so he no longer had an audience, and he spent most of his career in exile, and then at the end of the war, he went back to Berlin and staged this play and set up a theater company, and he died shortly after that.
What he thought would be the nature of the collective action that might bring about a world where, as he would say, we use the machines rather than the machines used us, or a world in which we wouldn't all go hippie-hopping off to war, nation against nation. That's what gave him hope, so that he could produce plays that said, we're all going to die unless we take some action together.
So what do you think was the most beautiful, the most moving thing about the whole experience?
Just for me personally, it was being able to meet these incredible artists and spend time learning about what it is they do.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks for joining us. You're watching Real TV Films. I'm your host, Tamara Henry here.